Hey everyone, and welcome to my Fallout 76 build for the lever action rifle. So this is a really casual build. It's not really going to be for raids. It's not really going to be doing head hunts. This is more for like just exploring, doing grunt hunts as well. It's actually really good for doing grunt hunts and speed running those. That's what I've been doing and mainly using this build for. And, you know, just doing daily ops and things like that. Just because I really like using the lever action rifle. However, it doesn't really have that sustainable damage that you need for raids or, you know, taking down harder bosses and stuff in the game. I have played around with it a lot and loads of different ways that you can actually, you know, use this weapon. There is different weapons as well that you can get a more powerful lever action rifle pretty early in the game as well if you've just started playing the game. You know, this is kind of a starter build as well. You know, I haven't really maxed it out to where I really want to get to, but you know, just in general gameplay, it is really fun to use and just basically one-shotting things and headshots with VATs. So let's start talking about the weapon real quick. So here we are just using a normal lever action rifle. Now you can get this from all the vendors on the map that are at train stations, and this will just be a random plan that can drop as well. But if you want to head to the train stations, you know, you can visit every single train station. You'll more than likely have it. It is actually called a lever gun under the plans there, so you can find it there nice and cheap as well. It will have some of the mods and like the add-ons and stuff that you can, you know, the attachments. They will have the plans for those too. So, you know, there's different ones around the map. You've got Grafton Station up there. You've got the Welch Station down there, and, you know, just all over the map, and they'll have different plans. Some of them will have the same plans, but majority of them will have different plans. There's another one there, Berkeley Springs Station. There's another one there, Pleasant Valley Station. So and then Sunnytop Station as well. So you can use Fallout Wiki as a very helpful tool. It will actually show you all these different stations are as well to help you navigate around the map. And like I said, this can be a pretty early build as well if you want to run this weapon nice and early. If you're a fan of lever action rifles as well, there will be a public activity called Most Wanted. So Most Wanted will actually grant you the Western Spirit. Now, the reason I'm not using the Western Spirit in this build is that it does have, you know, just stuck mods. You can't change the legendary mods on this weapon, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would actually use this because it does have Furious on it. It does have faster reload speed. However, I really want to get VATs optimized on there just so we can use the VATs a lot more. And obviously we can get explosive as well. If we could get explosive and VATs optimized on this thing, then it would be pretty good because it does actually do a little bit more damage than the current lever action rifle. But it's nothing massive. Honestly, the lever action rifle I have right now that I've made myself is actually pretty good. So let's inspect the weapon real quick. There's also another lever action rifle called the Soul Survivor. It's still not as good because you can't change the legendary mods on it. So it's better to just make your own, in my opinion. And yes, the Western Spirit does have a higher capacity. You can shoot 7 instead of 5, but we're not really going to worry about that too much because of the faster reload that we have going on our build here. So for the legendary mods, we have Furious, we have Explosive, and we had VAT optimized. Furious because it's going to go with our Onslaught. Explosive because, you know, we got Demolition Expert on, so we get extra damage from that. And VAT optimized because it lowers our AP cost. Now, I have my AP cost at 26. I did actually drop this all the way down to 9 and had like a high agility build going on, but it really sacrificed a lot of damage from the weapon. As you can see, we have 408 right now. That's because we have the hardened receiver on it. We have the stabilized long barrel, the forceful stock, standard sights, because if you put glow sights on, it does actually drop the damage down a little bit, or the VAT accuracy, the range or something like that. So that's why I don't really have glow sights on this, because standard sights work just as well. And I do believe it's something to do with the damage as to why I didn't put that on. But yeah, that is why we have just the normal basic one. I even tried to farm for the prime receiver. However, when you're viewing the prime receiver in the workbench, it doesn't actually give you more damage than the hardened receiver for some reason. So I didn't bother going for the prime receiver for this. But if you do get it, and it does do a little bit more damage, knock yourself out, put it on there. But yeah, that's mainly the gun that we're going to be using right here. This is what you want to work towards. Okay, so like I said, I haven't really maxed this build out, but I have put some luck mods and agility mods on my Secret Service armor here. So you can put this on all your armor if you're just using Brotherhood of Steel armor because you don't have the end game stuff yet. That's fine, but you really want to try and get, you know, +2 agility on the 2-star there. And if we move on to the next one, +2 agility there. Like I said, I don't really have everything maxed out at all. And I'm still doing pretty good stuff with this, just farming the grunt hunts as well to get loads of wanted posters. We have here, luckily I have active, because active actually gives you a +20 on your max AP, but active is one of the hardest mods to get hold of right now. And the second there, obviously we just have more agility going on with that. The next thing, we have +2 luck. And the reason we have the luck, we'll get into when we do the perk cards there, but you have +2 luck on the right arm there, and on the right leg I have +2 luck as well. I did have agility on them, so we had maximum agility going across our build here, but I really wanted to enhance my luck a little bit more, and let's get into the perk cards. So talking about the perk cards and why we have so much luck here, let me just swap back to my bounty hunter build, which is what I call this one. You know, I just really like to do bounty hunting with this, or grunt hunting. So let's have a look at the active perks here real quick. So this is the build I have right now. We'll talk with the legendary perks. We have I don't have all these maxed out, so we have rank 3 on agility, we have 2 on luck, we have 2 on perception, 2 on intelligence, and 2 on endurance right now. I'm still working towards leveling these up, obviously, but you know, it gives us some good points to use across the board here, and I will give you a build with no legendary perks as well. Now, you can use this build if you are a human as well, but you know, this is got a few ghoul perks in here, which does help out a little bit, but again, you can still use this as a human build without you haven't used the ghoul perks. It definitely won't reload as fast, and it probably won't do just a little bit less damage than what I'm doing, but you'll still be able to get there until you can unlock being a ghoul if you want to become a ghoul. So for strength, we have easy target, we have scatter shot, we have bandolier, we have traveling pharmacy, barbarian, and blocker. So I put barbarian on just because I had an extra point there, and you just get some, you know, little damage resistance based on your strength. And anyways, blocker, you know, self-explanatory, you get less damage from your opponent's melee attacks there, but the main thing here is easy target. You really want to get that one because you get plus 75% range damage to crippled targets, and scatter shot will also apply 20% of your damage dealt to every limb on the target as well, so that's really good there. Ballistic weapon ammo weighs 90% less. It's not really necessary to put this on, especially use the lever action rifle, because you don't need to carry a lot of ammo with this. I carry a lot of ammo around with me just because, but yeah, you really don't need to put this on. And traveling pharmacy is just because I'm a ghoul and I carry a lot of chems around. So, and that is in strength. There isn't really much else you can get in here that is going to benefit you in terms of doing more damage with the lever action rifle, unfortunately. So strength's just there to help us out carry weight wise. Perception, we have number cruncher. Your weapons have 2% increased damage per AP cost. We have tormentor, dealing 20% more damage per crippled limb your target has, so that goes nice with easy target. We have tank killer as well. Basically, your ranged weapons ignore 40% of armor. Center Mascus, if you're attacking the torso, you get plus 75% range damage there. We have awareness to gain more VATS, and we have downranger to do 20% range damage to far enemies as well. So you can actually kind of snipe with this build, which is what I like about it. I have ironclad on. I actually don't really mess around with glow too much. Glow can be hit or miss, to be honest. So I don't have glow on this build, so I'm not using glow and gut, which is what I normally run, but instead I'm using ironclad to go my secret service armor, because that actually works with secret service armor even if you're not running the helmet. Charisma, we have strange in numbers. That's just if you're part of the team. You get positive mutation effects, and they're 25% stronger if teammates are mutated as well. And tenderizer, each attack makes your target take increased damage as well. Tenderizer is not great with a lever action rifle because you're not really, you know, applying a lot of attacks to people in terms of you were using like a fully automatic weapon. But this is still, you know, relatively good there. Intelligence, we have demolition expert. That goes nice for our explosives mod on the weapon. It gives us a plus 60% damage there. Then on agility, so we have gunslinger expert, we have guerrilla expert, guerrilla master, gunslinger master. Gunslinger master is the most important one here because this will allow you to gain onslaught stacks over time and spend them on attacks. We have gunslinger and we have gun tricks. Gun tricks is really, really good for this build because it reloads the lever action rifle really fast. You know, I did mess around with Wild West Hands, which is a luck build, a luck perk, but I preferred using gun tricks just because, you know, we only need to load like 5 ammo in here. So, for example, you know, if I empty the clip in the lever action rifle here, you'll see how quick it reloads. You know, it's like a second. And then it's back to a full clip. So that's why I'm just using that instead, because you really don't need to rely on Wild West Hands there. So that's why it's good. Gunslinger, we have plus 9% weak point damage. I only have that at level 2 because I don't obviously have an extra point. So Gunslinger for that. But yeah, that is pretty much all I have. I also have Gunslinger Expert just to get the range on the weak spot damage per onslaught stack. And yeah, Guerrilla Expert combines well with Gun Tricks, so we get an even faster reload. Plus, it gives us extra stats on onslaught, so we can do more damage there. So yeah, we have a total of 30 on the onslaught stacks, and that way we can get a lot of damage from Furious. Then moving on to luck, we have better criticals, we have Ricochet, we have Class Freak, Critical Savvy, Faulty Spots, Grim Reaper's Sprint, and Cap Collector. So as I mentioned, because we have such high luck, and then why I've been putting luck mods on my armor is because of Grim Reaper's Sprint. Any kills and VATS restores action points based on your luck. So I have 20 luck right now, and I will like basically generate more or more or less the same amount of AP I've just spent trying to kill a target. Obviously, if a target is really tanky, this isn't going to work out well for you, but because the AP cost isn't that much while we are shooting the lever action rifle, then we are able to regen the AP relatively fast in anyways. But this is allowing us to, you know, run through daily ops, one-shotting targets constantly without even draining our AP, which is really nice. And like I said, you get more or even sometimes just the same amount of AP, depending on your luck, of course. And my luck is at 20 right now, so that's what I want to go for. I also run Cap Collector all the time because, you know, I always have a spare point and luck. Sure, I could go for like 4-leaf clover, misses and VATS, but because of how accurate the lever action rifle is in VATS, I really don't see the benefit of 4-leaf clover. Grim Reaper's Sprint is definitely really, really good for this build. That's something that you want on, definitely. Okay, so I will move on to the mutations that I have as well. So okay, moving on to the mutations. Unfortunately, I have Psycho Addiction right now because I'm a ghoul. I've been taking Psycho Chems. We have Adrenal Reaction. This gives us plus 5% damage per kill while on a kill streak, which is kind of nice. You can put all adrenal mods on there and run Adrenaline. You can go crazy when you're on a kill streak. Sure, but I'm not really too bothered about that. I have Eagle Eyes because this gives us a plus 50% crit damage. Definitely need Eagle Eyes. Honestly, it just gives you so much more crit. And the good thing is, if you have higher luck, it will regenerate crit during your VATS attacks as well a lot faster. So try and get your luck as high as possible. Mixed in with some agility there, like what I've done. Like I said, I've only got luck on 2 pieces right now, and I've combined the rest with some, 3 agility perks. So it's working really well for me. We have the Egghead Serum, plus 6 intelligence for that. Marsupial gives us 320% jump height and plus 20% plus 20 carry weight. And we have Speed Demon, which gives us plus 20% movement speed, plus 30% reload speed as well. Again, stacking with our gun tricks and with our gunslinger perk that allows us to reload fast as well. So yeah, that is all for the build there. Now, I just want to give you guys a build if you don't have any of the legendary perks unlocked. Okay, so here is the build without running any legendary perks at all. We have 6 in strength, 15 perception, 1 in endurance, 1 in charisma, 3 intelligence, 15 agility, and 15 luck. Now, you don't have to follow this to the exact letter, but this is what I went for here. So we have easy target, we have scatter shot, we have barbarian, awareness, center masochist, number cruncher, tank killer, tormentor, downranger, ironclad, stranger numbers, demolition expert, gun tricks, gunslinger, gunslinger expert, gunslinger master, guerrilla expert, and guerrilla master. Now, if you're not playing as a ghoul, you can take gun tricks out there. You can put them points into somewhere else. The same thing goes for faulty spots. However, faulty spots does give you an extra 15% weak point damage, and you don't even have to need glow for that. So that's why faulty spots is really good if you are a ghoul. If you're on the human side of things, you may want to move around some things that maybe is going more on endurance or more into strength or intelligence there. You can really play around with this. But the vital thing is obviously having better criticals and critical savvy. If you don't have any mutations, you don't have to put class freak in there. The good thing is, being as a ghoul, you don't have to really rely on starch genes at all because you're not going to take it right away. If you are going to be running mutations, of course, you do want to have starch genes on there. So if you are not playing as a ghoul, you might want to take gun tricks out of there and go on endurance and put in starch genes instead. So that way you not going to lose your mutations when you take right away. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there for the build. Thank you guys so much for watching and checking out the video. Hopefully you enjoy this build just for a casual fun time, kind of role playing as a bounty hunter or as the ghoul using his lever action rifle. And honestly, it's been really fun using this. And if you want to see more Fallout builds and guides, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to try and get some builds and guides out for everybody. Since I'm still relatively new to the game, honestly, despite being like level nearly 300, but I've only just been playing this game for just over a month now, and I'm having a fun time playing it as well. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that like button, hit that sub button. I've been Pixel, my awesome viewers. I'll catch you guys in the next one.